My name is Tochukwu and I'm a visual artist, a painter precisely, but more like I also experiment other styles in art. But specifically my work is more of surrealism, and I love the idea of distorting my figures, and also sometimes I go full-time abstract, but I use more of spray paints. So the spray paints, sometimes I infuse my figures to it, sometimes I allow the spray paint to do the whole job in painting. So that's what my work is more about, and I talk more of natural resources in my recent body of work, and this natural resources has been something from things that actually something that it's really, really important to me and also to my community as well. Just like I said earlier, natural resources actually, but life in general, yes, I would say that life in general, because art itself is life, and through art you can be able to put deeper meaning to things that people actually ignore or neglect. So as an artist, you are here to put up laws that people need to go through. When they look at our works, it inspires them, it tells them things that they actually don't really know much, or things that is almost forgotten, or things that are really important that people are not really paying so much attention to. So these things also help inspire my work, that there are certain things that I see, I feel like, okay, I need to put this up on the canvas or sculpt it. Because recently I started experimenting with sculpture as well, and photography. But strictly I'm more of painting, and my work is being inspired by things around me, life, and mostly natural resources. In 1952 Africa, I was referred to apply from my kind of, should I say, an art legend who shared it to me on Instagram. I was like, your work is good and I would love to see it there. I think this is the best place for you to apply, best platform for you to show up your works. And when I went through 1952 terms and conditions, I fell in love with it, and I felt like, yes, this is the best place to be right now. So I had to apply, and honestly, it has been a massive change and impact to me. There's been a kind of little restrictions based on the fact that I'm a graduate in painting, in art precisely, painting precisely, yes. So, the laws that guide the arts schools and all those things has kind of put the kind of restrictions in our head. But the residency helped me to a little bit loosen up. Like, I was quite rigid with my kind of works, but recently I started becoming more flexible, interacting with other big artists and going to different locations, down to knowing that, okay, I can explore whatever it is I want on my canvas without somebody telling me this is what you need to do and all that. I'm an artist, I need to decide what's going to happen on my canvas. I have to decide what I want to show people, and I also have to decide the kind of message that I portray out there. So 1952 has given me the kind of flexibility to understand some certain things in the art industry, that I don't need to be rigid or follow a specific law. You need to know the laws, yes, quite sure. Then also you also need to be smart enough to be able to break the laws in a reasonable way as well. That when people see you, they understand you understand the law in the art also, but you're also being expressive with your works as well. My inspiration in art, after the residency, let me just go straight after the residency, I aim to also apply for more residencies as well, because from one residency to the other, I tend to learn more than when I'm just in my studio and painting from my studio. The residency, they kind of draw me to other artists, other communities, and also make me to explore better on my body of works. So my recent body of work in the house was inspired, just like I said, natural resources. So I don't really know my next body of work will actually be inspired by, but till then, I think I should focus more on this body of work. But my aspiration out there is to be a better artist and to use my work to really tell stories about these things that we really need as man to help humanity. I have two people I actually look up to in my art. First is Mr. Tochukwu. He's solely, and he was my co-rector on my first residency, and that was the first time I met him. And going through his works, I really understood that sometimes as an artist, you really need to not really be that stubborn, but also, even those artists are naturally stubborn, but you also need to pay attention to certain things. So I really look up to him a lot because I love his body of work, the way he uses natural resources as well. He went down to Enugu State and he dug up coals from the ground. Enugu is called Coal City, and Enugu had a lot of coals, and he was able to infuse that into his work and use it as a means of his creation. So I really think, to me, that is a nice step. And I also started paying attention to using spray paints to represent either my water, my crude oil, or I can also use my spray paint to represent a lot of things in my painting. So I started loving the idea that I was able to figure out something from experimenting, just like Mr. Uche Joel did. Also, another artist I look up to is Kalani Abbas. I really love his works. I love the idea of the vintage nature of his works and everything, and how he is able to also experiment with resources as well, just like cartons and all that. So I pick a lot of interest in these two artists, and their works inspire me a lot.